Hey gang, all right, so I've got a bit of a depressing video for you if you're a big alcohol drinker. I want to show you the health effects on your sex hormones, what drinking just a few times a week can do to your body. People tend to think, it's just, I just have a couple beers a night, or I just go out drinking twice a week, whatever. And I don't think they quite understand the impact that it actually has, particularly on development of your body and your health over time. Anything can happen in a vacuum. You have it a couple days, no problem. But if it turns into a lifestyle thing, you should be aware of what's going on. So I put together, we took an individual, we did a Dutch test, Dutch urine analysis on all her sex hormones, and then we had her go dry for 2 months and check her numbers again. The only thing that changed, not her diet, not her supplementation regimens, but just the alcohol itself. And this will highlight how much of an impact that it actually has. Drinking alcohol changes your hormones in a dramatic way. And so I'm gonna break down how that actually happens so you now can be aware of how it works in your body. So we're gonna switch it up here. I'm gonna show you. So what you're looking at here is a layout. Here's progesterone, here's testosterone. DHEA is the precursor to androgens, testosterone and androsterone, okay? So these are her androgens, this is testosterone, okay? And I wanna show you guys the differences in these numbers. So here, this was back in March, okay? And this is when she was drinking a couple times a week, didn't wanna give it up, was eating clean, training when she could. If you take a look, her progesterone is doing good. The arrows indicate where it's at. Her progesterone was doing okay. But in relationship to her estrogen, it was low. So her ratio between these two, these are all the estrogens. You have a lot of estrogens throughout your body, by the way, gang. Looking at one estrogen isn't enough. But she was way over in her estrogens. They were way too high. And comparatively to her progesterone, she was estrogen dominant, all right? Estrogen dominance in men leads to building breast tissue or fat around the chest. It leaves you swollen. It reduces your sex drive. It eats your muscle away. You can't build muscle very well. It can create ED issues, all of that, okay? And so her estrogen levels got very high. And her androgen levels suffered from it because drinking alcohol increases something called aromatase. So you'll see here aromatase, all right? Aromatase conversion when you drink alcohol hyper-converts your hormones into estrogen, okay? And so this is what was going on with her, and her results were stalling. So in women, estrogen dominance leads to bad PMS symptoms, high ranges of emotions that go left and right. I mean, it can create, later on, if other things are at play, it could create estrogen-related cancer. Not that drinking creates cancer, but if you go estrogen dominant and you have estrogen issues, yes, it most certainly can create potential tumors in estrogen-related areas or estrogen-sensitive areas. There are a myriad of things. Weight loss, it can stop it. Swelling, irregular cycles, acne, all kinds of different issues. And so, not to mention she wasn't getting the results that she wanted. So let me flip forward now. This was, again, on 3/16. We redid the test right at the beginning of July. So this was so basically the last test, if you go April till July, you're looking at just about 3 months where she didn't drink as much. But she only actually stopped drinking about a month and a half prior to this, just to give you context, okay? So it only really been about six to 8 weeks, okay? And the only significant change here was that she stopped drinking. Take a look at how much estrogen significantly reduced, okay? These hormone tests are taken at the same time, by the way, gang. Luteal phase of a female cycle, taken at about the same time. So you can't debate that. That's not the argument here. That's how we've been able to kind of eliminate most factors other than looking at alcohol. Look how significant her estrogen levels were cut in half. These are healthy estrogen levels. Her progesterone levels rose. So now her ratio between progesterone and estrogen is positive. all right? And her androgens went up. Now, androgens in men means increased muscle building, sex drive, vitality, energy during the day. It goes on and on and on. Now, we've got some work to do on her androgens because they went a little too high, but that's what happens when androgen-dominant females that drink too much, their androgens all go into estrogen. But basically, you still see the rise in androgens, rise in testosterone. It all rose. So all the positive benefits that can come from androgens go up. The negative benefits of estrogen go down. Your ratio between progesterone and estrogen gets great. And this is all from just not drinking. So I tell you guys, now that you see all that, and you're thinking down on the road, building fat, you know, being more emotional, sleeplessness issues, it goes on and on and on and on. I mean, I can't list all of them. In men, increased levels of estrogen can lead to increased rates of prostate cancer. So there's so many different things, and your hormones have an effect on all of these things. So if you think you're just drinking a couple nights a week, you may want to reconsider. I hope this video helped.